All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move forward with the CMO's fireside chat session on creating and sustaining a compelling brand experience. We have with us the Chief Marketing Officer for Mahindra and Mahindra Automotive Division, Mr. Vivek Nair. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a huge round of applause for Mr. Vivek Nair. And joining him is the Chief Marketing Officer for Pidilite Industries, Mr. Vivek Sharma. This is the CMO's fireside chat session, ladies and gentlemen, on creating and sustaining a compelling brand experience.
So we've been talking brands for a long time, and we've heard some nice stories from new brands, old brands. Amul is a brand which we've all grown up with. Shadi is a new brand. And here are two marketers, and marketers can talk brands for hours. So how long do you want to sit? I think let's stick very, very tightly to the topic that we've been told to talk about, which is brand experience. How do you create compelling brand experiences and how do you sustain them over time? So that's what we will talk about based on our own brand building experience. Yeah?
Yeah, so good evening, everyone. So I think, Vivek, we can start by first relating the role which the brand experience plays in building the status of the brand, which is the iconic status, because here we are supposed to talk about the brand which have not only become popular, but they have gone beyond the realms of domains and become iconic in their domains and categories and occupy larger share of consumer mind. So beside product, advertising, and word of mouth, we have spoken about that. What role does the experience beyond these aspects does a brand play? And if I can ask you, how do you create the consistent brand experience with your brands?
So let me share the story of Mahindra SUVs. I mean, we've got a couple of awards today for our SUVs, so I will talk about SUVs. Mahindra has been making and selling SUVs in India since independence, around the same time as Amul. And there are certain product truths about our SUVs. You talk to consumers, they will always tell you Mahindra SUVs are tough, they are rugged. And sometime around 2010 or so, about 7-8 years ago, we said all that is fine, but how can we make a difference to consumers' lives? So fine, we make tough, rugged SUVs, but what is the differentiated experience that we can enable for our consumers? And we did a lot of research. We did a lot of sort of consumer trends to figure out how consumer mindsets are changing, how consumer lives are changing. One of the things that we picked up was that consumers said, look, we are sort of, and mind you, this was the time when incomes were rising, aspirations were rising, exposure was rising. So one of the things people said was, look, we are tired of, just going to watch a movie or go out for a meal with friends. We want something more out of life. You want to do something different. And this whole thing about can we get out on the weekends, can we drive to a place for a picnic, or can we drive from Bombay to Goa with friends was just about starting. And, a lot of people were aspiring for that. And that's when we started an experiential brand called Mahindra Adventure. And we said if our SUVs are tough and rugged, if that's our DNA, how can we enable such experiences for customers out there by creating an experiential brand? And under Mahindra Adventure, we do, now in the last 7 years, we've built it up to, we do about 25-30 events every year. And these are different kinds of events. We have single day events, which are called Mahindra Great Escapes, where people come and do off-roading, and we enable that whole thing. or we have multi-day expeditions like 10, 11, 12 days expeditions. And to give you a flavor of what I'm talking about and how that brand experience gets delivered, let me show you a video on Mahindra Adventure. Let me just play that for you. Mahindra Adventure. Can we have it on the screen? Somebody at the back end, can you put it on the screen, the video?
Mahindra Adventure was established in 2011
Volume,
and has
volume.
successfully completed 6 seasons. Let us take a look at the season that just got over. The highlight was a brand new expedition that connected Kashmir and Kanyakumari. 25 Mahindra SUVs crossed 10 states and 5,000 kilometers to complete an epic journey. Yet another new addition was the authentic Bhutan expedition, which saw an overland border crossing to the land of the Thunder Dragon. If you thought that was exotic, wait till we tell you about the classic monastery escape, traversing the stunning landscapes of Ladakh. This season also saw Mahindra Adventure expeditions to the northeast and the Spiti Valley in the Himalayas. Apart from these experiential expeditions, Mahindra Adventure also handles many customer engagement events under the banner Great Escape. Great Escapes also play the role of the selection rounds for the Off-Roading Trophy, an off-road competition for off-roading enthusiasts, where the winner takes home a brand new Mahindra Thar. To encourage competition between the off-road clubs of India, we introduced the Club Challenge. The event is now organized along with the Thar Fest, the biggest congregation of Mahindra Thars in the country. Located in the stunningly beautiful region of Igatpuri, the Mahindra Adventure Off-Road Training Academy is the first and only one of its kind in India. Here, participants get to learn the art of off-roading. Mahindra Adventure took the motorsport world by surprise when it entered the diesel-powered Super XUV 500s into rally. To cut a long one short, the Cheetah has won 12 of the 20 rallies entered in the Indian National Rally Championship. Mahindra Adventure, perfecting the art of getting lost.
So, based on the consumer trend that we saw, we decided to own the space of fun, adventure, road trips, and a change in lifestyle, and created Mahindra Adventure to enable people to have a different kind of experience. And you know, a few thousand people participate in these events every year, but then we amplify this using digital and social media. And we have 15, 16 million fans on Facebook, Twitter, and so on. So we take this experience and this content to millions of fans across digital media. And that's how we are creating a compelling brand experience.
So Vivek, if I may interject and ask you, off-roading and adventure appeals to a segment of your consumers. So you do take it to people, to digital media, a wider section of your audience. But how do you ensure that the appeal goes beyond the physicality of adventure and your brand is able to actually involve those consumers who don't do physical off-roading?
So, the point is that some people love off-roading. Some people like to go on picnics, as I said. Some people like to go on road trips from Mumbai to Goa. There are others who like to go on long expeditions from Delhi to Leh Ladakh. Some people want to cross international borders. So we cater to all of them. And other than that, we want to inspire many more people to just get out there into the countryside and experience fun, adventure, freedom on their own. So one is we are creating Mahindra Adventure to come to us for that experience. The second is we've created a communication called Live Young, Live Free, where we are trying to inspire people to go and live that kind of lifestyle on their own with their family and their friends. And if I may just show you that one commercial that we've created, and we've run the version 2 recently. If I can just play that film as well, the Live Young, Live Free. And that is a film that we are using to inspire. So Mahindra Adventure enables, and this film inspires people to live that kind of lifestyle. So if you can just play that, please. Just up the volume at the back. So Live Young, Live Free is the communication which inspires people. And by the way, this also aligns with our corporate brand, because our corporate brand, Mahindra, stands for Rise. And Rise is about changing people's lives and their lifestyles. And this is what we are trying to do with Mahindra SUVs.
If I may ask you a question as a consumer, in an automobile, one brand experience is the positioning and how it relates to the wild aspect of personality of the youngsters. The other aspect of experience is after-sales service when something goes wrong. So how do you relate the two in ensuring that you got 2 awards for the brands, that brand still retains its status of trusted brand and love brand or iconic brand? How do you relate the two experiences, wild experience and the after-sales experience?
See, the after-sales experience, without doubt, when you're selling an automobile, your after-sales experience has to be good, right? And if your experience there is bad, nobody's going to give you word of mouth. Somebody, I think right in the beginning, Mahesh Murthy spoke about word of mouth. And if your after-sales experience is poor, your word of mouth will be poor and your brand will come down. And, I think we are one of the few brands whose chairman is on Twitter, and consumers and anybody can actually tweet to him and say, I have a complaint. And, initially, we've also gone through this learning curve. Initially, we used to feel upset, कि अरे यार आनंद महिंद्रा को छोटी सी बात के लिए tweet कर दिया. But very soon we realized the power of the medium. We realized that if there is a problem anywhere in the country, we come to know there is a problem. And that gives us an opportunity to do a service recovery. So let's say if the customer in Guwahati is saying, look, I did not get so-and-so part. I went for your workshop and they didn't have that part. I'm waiting for 2 days. It escalates the problem, right? Fine, he's tweeted to Anand Mahindra. But it allows everyone in the system to get alert that there is a customer out there who has a problem. We need to rush and help him. And we are so happy now that Anand Mahindra is on Twitter and anybody can tweet to him, because we are able to do service recoveries and improve on that front as well.
So one last question. What are the everlasting values that you're trying to build in this brand consistently over time?
So as I said, the product truth is about tough, rugged. But how this impacts the consumer's life. What role does it plays in the consumer's life is all about fun, adventure, a different kind of lifestyle. That's the space we are trying to own. And through Mahindra Adventure, which is our experiential brand, and through this kind of communication, which is Live Young, Live Free, that's the space we are trying to sort of own. Yeah. Okay, so that was the Mahindra story. Let me now turn the spotlight back to Vivek. And Vivek, your brand is very unique because as a consumer, I think, people don't really use the brand Fevicol. Fevicol is the most well-known brand that you guys have. You have many other brands, Dr. Fix-It and so on. But Fevicol is, let me start with Fevicol. So, how do, hi again. Very well.
Good evening.
We just met a couple of days ago. So Fevicol is a brand that you don't really see. You don't use yourself. I mean, the Mistri or the stake, those people use it. So how do you create a brand and a brand experience on a brand like Fevicol?
So you're right. Actually, so far we have spoken about brands like Amul, Mahindra's, Shadi.com, which consumers directly use. But Fevicol, you all know, is a very familiar brand to you. But Fevicol, you don't get to see yourself. You make your furniture maybe once in 5 years. You make a new home once in 10 years. Then you make your wardrobes. And I don't think you ever go and buy Fevicol yourself. You talk to your contractor and carpenter and say, make me the furniture. You never go and smell the product and use the product. But still, Fevicol is a brand which is known, and Fevicol is used in a language. So many mimes on digital media, everyone uses Fevicol in the language. So how the brand has been built in such a way that the brand which is not used by ordinary consumers, is not seen by ordinary consumers, it yet occupies the mind. So I'm going to talk about few things, but I'm going to use some examples. So I'm going to use the laptop. So while this is working? Yeah, so I'm going to use this. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll make it very short. Only 2 or 3 key points which I want to make is, Fevicol is not seen by anyone. So Fevicol has become iconic brand because Fevicol has gone beyond the functionality. Fevicol sticks, but do you ever see mostly Fevicol ad showing you how it sticks to the plywood to wood? No, you don't see that. You see other aspects of the Fevicol. Now I have lots of ads to show, but I'm going to show you only one to make the point, one or two to make the point that this brand has gone beyond functionality, and actually it is talking about everlasting bonds. Does a consumer care how it sticks? No. We could have spoken about, cross-linking polymers and so on and so forth. But what we talk to consumers is this. Volume, please. Yeah. Video, please. No. I just need to show. How do I come back? Okay. So second point is, that this brand is also built on innovations. Beyond advertising, there are various ways in which this brand relates to consumers, and a lot of it happens in offline medium. Now, we have done many, many innovations, but I'm going to take two examples to just to make the point that this is an adhesives brand which you don't see, but people enjoy the brand and the message it gives to consumers all the time. No, no, not this. This is a short film which we made 4 years ago, but yeah. But still goes on digital medium entertaining people.
It's not coming on the screen.
Can we have it on screen, please? You keep this laptop on screen, I'll keep playing it. Okay. Okay, so while they're getting the video right, can we have the video, please? So, yeah. Volume, please. I won't play the example of the song. This is a song we did with Fevicol, and that's one other example of actually winning the hearts of consumers. This was a real life innovation we did. These are the people from our marketing team who ran in the marathon, but they stood on the ground, they never ran. And that proved what Fevicol can do to you. So this is all about how a brand, how we won our consumers by going beyond functionality and actually winning the hearts of consumers, remaining consistent. But the other key part is how do we win over all stakeholders? Mr. Sodi talked about Amul winning over the stakeholders, and that's equally important to us. So who are the key stakeholders for Fevicol? There is consumer. We spoke about consumers. We won over the heart of consumers through consistently advertising, which actually speaks about the core value of the brand, which is everlasting bonds, but never talks about the product and never talks about the functionality. People know about it. Other part is the contractors and the carpenters which use a brand, and actually we have won them over with some innovations. So first of all, we involve the carpenters in many social ways, in the ways we improve their lives. We give them training to improve their skills so they can earn the more money. We get involved in the social functions, and we also look after their social aspects and their kids, and we give them scholarship, etc. Now, some example of how we have we have got involved in their social lives. This is the kind of message we actually send to them on festivals. Right? So I'll move on last but not the least to really make the point that Fevicol actually, yeah. Fevicol has actually become language of the nation. If a prime minister of the country uses your brand name in his speech, I don't think we need any more proof of the fact that iconic brands can actually be in the hearts and minds of people. And you don't need better PR than that. Or every month with big events, Fevicol is used by people in language, all over digital media and in the mainstream press as well. The last but not the least, the important part which we all forget is, Fevicol like brand is like duck in the water. What you see is the ducks swimming on the water, but below the water is paddling fiercely, and that's what we do with carpenters and contractors. We work hard with them to actually improve their lives and better their lives, and I'll show you with few slides an example what we do below the water so that the brand really wins over the key stakeholder, which is the contractor and carpenters. We have something called Fevicol Champions Club. What we do with them is we look after the children, we have academies for the children, we do medical camps for them, we get involved in Vishwakarma, which is very important for them, we organize Yoga Day for them, we do Shramdan Divas. This is very important because in Shramdan Divas, we provide the material, the adhesives and the wood, and for one day, thousands of carpenters all over the country go to orphanages and needy institutions, and either they build new furniture for them or they repair it for them. This has become a very big event. It gets coverage all over the place, and it's now a Limca Book of Records. And they feel attached to the brand because they feel the brand is enabling them to contribute to society. Then we actually do a Vriksharopan Divar once a year where we actually plant trees because we use wooden furniture. Okay, we're using wood, so we're giving back to the nature by making them plant trees. This has also become very, very big. Okay, we have around 600 clubs of Fevicol Champions Club in 150 cities, and this is where we do. And recently we got involved with Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, so that our carpenters and contractors have a relationship with the brand Fevicol, which is beyond their business, which is beyond, and it is an important part of their lives. Okay? And last but not the least, a brand cannot be important to a stakeholder unless it actually improves their lives in making them earn more money. And that is the core need of a contractor and carpenter. We actually have a contractor training program. So the key point which I want to make is that a brand which is not seen by consumers, which you don't see ever, but still used by language, in everyday language, it is used in jokes, it is used in language by a prime minister. You love the advertising, you love the mimes on the video, you love the jokes on the video, because the brand goes beyond functionality, and the brand Fevicol is continue to build everlasting bonds with the millions of consumers and contractors across India. Thank you.
So I've just found something common between Fevicol and Mahindra SUVs, because the Prime Minister, before he became Prime Minister, used to roam around in a Mahindra Scorpio.
Yeah, so we'll conclude by saying that we spoke about how brands can build iconic status by building consistent experience. The key things which we spoke about is, A, we have to consistently build brand experience. B, we have to build brand experience for all stakeholders, not just the direct consumer. And lastly, brands always win and become iconic when they go beyond their immediate functionality. You are not about transport, you are about adventures. We are not about sticking wood to plywood, but we are about everlasting bonds.
Thank
I think
you.
we are
Thank
out
you
of
so
time,
much.
so
Yes.
Out of time, so thank you very much for
Mr. Rishi Kapoor to kindly come forward to felicitate Mr. Vivek Nair as well as Mr. Vivek Sharma, please. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to take this opportunity to thank our partners, our supporting partner, Make in India, Also, we have our live webcast partner, 24 Frames Digital, and our media partners, Khushi Advertising and Media Avatar. Thank you so much. Thank you.